What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS 3 Raw TV. So today I'm going to answer a question that I got an email from Austin. What's up, Austin? And I thought this was a good question because he talks about gym memberships and expensive gym memberships. So here in the DMV, or actually where I train my clients at in Maryland, there's Retro, there's Ecken Road, there's the Golds, there's LA Fitness, there's Lifetime, there's the other Golds. So there's two more gyms. There's 8 or 9 gyms within a 5-minute drive. Well, traffic in Maryland down the pike and stuff, it takes you longer, but without traffic, within a 5-minute drive, we have 8 to 9 gyms. And some of them are pretty expensive. We have the Equinox downtown in Bethesda, which is pretty expensive. We have the Vita. There's a bunch of them around here that are super expensive. Now, when I say expensive, we're talking about over $200 per month for one person membership. And that's a one club membership sometimes at some of these things. So I know there's a lot of people out there that do the $9 a month, like Planet Fitness or whatever. $19 a month, Retro Fitness has their stuff going on. I'm trying to think if there's anything cheaper than that. We have Sport and Health here also, which is in that area. So you're looking anywhere from $9 to about $59, which I feel is the average from the gyms that I've been to pretty much all over the country. They start going up from $59. It seems like the next jump is to like $100 for some reason, $100 and up, depending on these posh gyms and stuff. Some of them called workout clubs. They're called high-rise clubs. They're called different things, but they're gyms with fancy equipment and lots of amenities that you can use from the gym. So he actually sent me an email and said, over the summer when I was working full time, I was persuaded into joining an expensive gym with a year-long contract. Now, there are some gyms like in Maryland you are not allowed to pay a year up front. So you can join for the year, but there was something that happened in Maryland where this gym company opened a gym and they collected all this money up front for, if you pay for 2 years up front or whatever, you get a discounted rate. People paid. Within 3 months, they closed the doors and left. They screwed everybody. They took all the money and ran. So they came up with this law that says basically you cannot collect the money. You can have them sign a 2-year contract, but they still have to pay month to month. So I'm assuming that's what he's talking about here, and it's not a paid in full contract because he talks about, how it's a long contract. But he says, since he started school, can no longer afford the gym membership. It's just too expensive. He said, is there any way I can get out of this? I've done lots of research about the laws around this. I'm also going to be attending a different university a semester that is far away from this gym, as I read that relocating can end a binding gym contract. This membership is one of the biggest stresses in my life, and it really keeps me up at night. I watched one of your YouTube videos about how cutthroat these gyms can be, and I'm even more stressed than before. I think he's talking about when I was with Bally's. I worked at Bally's. I signed for 2 girls I knew from high school that weren't 18 yet. And I was told by the sales guy that when they turn 18, he'll just transfer the membership to their name. Well, they stopped going to the gym. I never really saw them anymore. And like months later, I got a bill in the mail for like $800. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I don't have a membership at Bally's. I work there. I get a free membership. So I went in there and talked to the manager, and I told him his name was Michael. Michael said, this guy, he actually signed me up, signed them up under me. And he goes, you can't transfer him. He goes, I don't know why he did that. And he goes, he basically they fired the guy anyways for doing shady shit. So basically he needed the numbers. He persuaded me because I didn't know any different to sign for these girls. And then basically I was responsible for the membership when they didn't go anymore. So yes, I had to go to court. It was a big thing. But the gym contract is absolutely burying me financially. If you have any advice or there's anything you can do for me, please write back and let me know. I'm extremely desperate. So, Austin, here's the deal, man. You have to check with the gym as to what you're saying, the laws. Technically, take the laws out of it for now because the gym has their own rules and you sign that paper. So whatever laws you think apply may not necessarily apply because you agreed to what's in that contract. Hopefully you read the contract in full. I never used to read them. I'll just be honest with you. I would take the contract and sign it. I'm going to train at the gym. Sign the thing, boom, here you go. I want to get training. Now, the way that Golds did it and Fitness First both was if you moved within 25 miles of another one of their clubs, you couldn't cancel the membership. Which means if you moved 5 states over and there was a Golds gym within 25 miles, you couldn't cancel your membership. They would just transfer your membership over there. Fitness First was the same exact way. Now, here's the thing. 25 miles here in DC could take you 2 hours to 2.5 hours to get to. Who the fuck's going to drive to the gym 2.5 hours? But that was their rules. And if you didn't read that whole contract when you signed it, you agreed to that shit. Now, how I got out of my Fitness First, I worked at Golds, and I was actually the fitness manager, and I did managing and sales at the Golds all at the same time, as well as training people. Now, when I would do my workouts in the middle of the day with my friend Ani, the sales guys would come to me, Jerry, we need you to help with the sale. I'm like, I only got 20 minutes before I'm working out. Leave me the fuck alone. And they wouldn't leave you alone because business first, right? So that basically I wasn't able to get my workouts in. So Ani and I actually joined Fitness First, which was down the road. So I went to Fitness First for that hour, did my workouts there, and then came back when, the people at Gold's couldn't bother me when I was not on the clock. And when it came time for me to quit that gym, they were like, 25 miles. Where are you moving to? And I was like, oh, I just don't want the gym anymore. They're like, well, you can't just not want the gym. Like, if you move 25, and that gym, Fitness First, was only around here. So it's like, if I was moving out of state, I could cancel the membership. If I was moving anywhere in the DMV, DC, Virginia, whatever, there was a club around there. So I was like, shit. So luckily, it was when I had moved here from New England, from Rhode Island, and I still had a Rhode Island driver's license, right? And I was like, well, I have a Rhode Island driver's license. They're like, yeah, but you've been here for a while. So I was like, my father has the same name as I do. So what I did was call home and be like, hey, Mom, I need a copy of the cable bill for residency. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that cable bill and say, hey, here's my new address. I didn't get my new license yet because I'm moving back. And, I didn't get my Maryland license because I'm going to move back. So when I move back, I'm just going to keep this license. And here's my fucking bill to let you know that I'm there. And that's what's going on. So I walked in there with it, showed them that, and they had to release me from the contract. They had no choice. It was the same name. They didn't know it was my dad. It was the same name. So I was able to work around it and get out of the contract. However, if I was just if they knew I was just staying in Maryland, there's no way I could fucking cancel it. I signed the contract saying that I would absolutely be part of that gym no matter what if I moved within 25 miles. So if you join this gym and there's a gym within 25 miles of where you're moving, or maybe 10 miles, 50 miles, whatever their rules are, because each gym has their own way they set it up. Corporate will structure it that way. You may not be able to get out of it that way. Now, if you sign for it and you're having a better job, et cetera, what's going on, stuff like that, you can call the corporate office, not the gym, call the corporate office, okay? Ask to speak to somebody in the corporate office and explain your situation to them. Say, look, I was working a better job. I have this other job. I just can't afford it. I'm going to school. Like, I'm screwed. Like, this is putting me under. And then I haven't even logged into your gym. If you've been going to the gym using it still, it's not going to work because they're going to be like, you still use it. Why? Fuck it. No, you can't. If you haven't been to it like 3 or 4 months, now they'll be like, you're not here 3 or 4 months. You're gone. You don't have the same job. They might take pity on you and do it. If not, now's where you have to get the lawyer involved. Okay, which is what I had to do with Bally's. So with Bally's, the way the contracts were in the back of this contract, it was like a white contract on the back. It was pink on the back with like darker pink writing. So like you really couldn't. If you really couldn't read it that way, you'd really have to pay attention to it to read it. If you're moving fast, you can't read all the words because the color contrast isn't enough to actually be able to see it properly. And they call it a Mickey Mouse contract because they go, okay, and just initial here, and they throw it in front of you. And with all those words and stuff, you don't read it real fast because they push you real hard to get through it real fast. Once you initial it, they got you. So I went to my lawyer, or a lawyer, which was my family's lawyer at the time, and I said, here's the deal. Like, I work there. They're telling me I got to pay for this membership. I mean, I signed it under these pretenses. I don't know what to do. And he looked at the contract. He said, all right, this is one of those Mickey Mouse contracts. Because I'm going to take it into court and we'll get it dismissed and they're going to have to let you out of it. I had collection agencies contacting me because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And it went to collections and then they started contacting me. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to pay $900 total, with interest and stuff on this fucking contract because I'm never going to use it. I work there. Like, I get it for free. So he had to go to court and take care of it. And they did let me out of the contract. There's nothing they could really do. It wasn't long after that I left Bally's because of the shit that was going on that I just didn't like. But the bottom line is, if you sign that contract and you agree to whatever is in that contract stipulation-wise, you have to abide by those rules or find a loophole. If 25 miles is the minimum or the most that you can move away and near a club, then you need to somehow figure out how to get mail sent to someplace other than 25 miles away, further away, establish residency there, and then bring that and say, hey, I moved 25 miles away or 50 miles, whatever their stipulation is. You're going to have to find out what they do and not necessarily what I know from Bally's or Gold's or whatever the case may be. Because this gym, you're looking at these, expensive gyms like this, like Equinox here. There's Equinoxes all over the fucking country. And I think it's 80 miles or something like that. I'm like, who the fuck would drive 80 miles to go to the gym? I mean, yeah, it's a nice gym, but 80 miles? I think I just some push-ups in my fucking yard and call it a day. Like, it's just too far to drive. It's too much. But some of these things, they're ironclad. Some of these contracts are ironclad. They will not let you out of them. You have to pay the full membership. And if this thing is putting you under, my first step would be to call corporate and explain your situation, see what happens there. The second step, no choice. You got to contact the lawyer. Now, sometimes the lawyer can just write a letter. They can draft up a letter, send it to corporate, explain to them what's going on, and explain that they'll have a way of drawing it up that makes them go, oh, fuck, we don't want to have a lawsuit. We don't even want to go to court. We don't even want to waste our time with this shit. Let him out of his fucking contract. You know, that's the first step. If they get that letter and they tell the lawyer to fuck off, now you have to say, look, we're going to file papers in court. You know, civil suit, whatever the case may be. We're going to file papers in court and take you to court because there's no fucking way I'm paying this. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I came to you, told you what was going on. Like, this is an unforeseen thing. It's not like I don't want to go to the gym. I just can't afford it. Like, I love your facilities, nothing wrong with it, but I can't afford it. I'm screwed. Like, my whole life is turned upside down by the fact that I don't have that job anymore. And this is the last thing I should be worrying about. And you're interfering with my well-being in the future because of your contract that doesn't let somebody out in the case that they can't fucking, you know, or if you have a medical condition. If you have a medical condition, you can present that to them and say, I have a medical condition. I can't go anywhere near a gym. I have to train with my fucking physiotherapist, my physical therapist, my whatever, hydrotherapist, whatever you're doing. You can use that as an angle, but you're going to have doctors and shit to back you up. Like, you're going to have something really wrong with you, or have like a doctor in the family or something that can manipulate shit for you, which is kind of illegal, but whatever. You're going to have something that is proof that you physically can't go to that gym anymore for any reason. They can let you off for that. But I'll tell you right now, like, you know, it's not going to happen without a fight, you know, but the first thing is you can't sit around and wait. The longer you wait, the worse it is. You have to get in there and start working on it now and try to get your shit situated, because it's just causing you more stress. It's costing you more money. And if you haven't gone in there and talked to the corporate about it, they don't even know what's going on. They might just say, you know what, we understand. Fuck it. You're out. Good. You know what I mean? No problem. Please come back when you can afford it. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what I would do if I was the gym owner or the corporate and said, you came to me and you said, look, I can't afford it. This is what happened. I'd be like, fuck, I'm sorry, man. Like, no problem. You know what? We're going to avoid this contract. And, you know, we hope that you come back to us in the future, because we're a great gym and we would love to have you back, and we feel bad, but you know, when you're back on your feet and stuff, we'd love to have you back in. We're sure that we'd be the best option for you out there, and leave it at that, but you don't know until you try. So my advice is get out there first and talk to corporate. Just call them up, their main office, the main corporate office, and say, hey, who do I talk to about memberships? There's something wrong with my membership, or I'd like to cancel my membership, or whatever the case may be, and take it. That's the first step. Take it from there and see where that goes. And by all means, keep me posted. I'd really like to know what happens in the future with this, and what options they give you and how hard it is to get out of this. Because, again, this is years ago. You know, there was lots of stuff going on where you couldn't get out of contracts, but nowadays a lot of gyms will let you out of them. Like, a lot of them now, they charge a lot lower fees. The different options are different too, where you can do a month to month, where before you had to do 3 months, 6 months, or a year, right? But it's like you sign up for a year, but they still take it out monthly. Like, you still have to sign a year contract. Some of them are 2 or 3 year contracts. Some of them you can pay up front. Some of you can't now. It's all over the place. Like, each company has their own set of rules and their own set of laws that they consider them laws. But bottom line is you got to give it a shot and see what happens first. And like I said, shoot me an email. Let me know what happens, Austin. BioStreetTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. BioStreet.com is a blog. It's to give it a shot bicep, and we are out.